Happy Halloween. Yes, it's Happy Halloween 2023. Thank you very much. You are stepping in to our podcast. And this is Explain Strange with Slap Recon. So follow along, hang tight, and don't be too scared. And give me some candy if you have it. Throw your candy this way, please. This is Slap Recon's Explain Strange. Today we're going to get into a topic which I call Dreaming the Dead. The reason I'm getting into this topic is because I've had these experiences, and I thought that maybe I would kind of want to go ahead and look them up and investigate and see how far they go, and or how far these dreams can actually go. So what I did was I did some research on it. I tried to get a hold of some people that might have a little more experience in it, or expertise, should I say. I'm sorry. But to no avail. So here is Slap Recon. I did the experience. Now understand this, please. Everything I'm going to tell you is not my personal knowledge. The only thing I'm going to tell you that is my personal knowledge is what dreams that I had. So, or my experiences in my dreams. But other than that, I'm going to tell you what the experts have said and whatnot, and what I guess happens in these dreams. So we're going to see if we can go through these dreams together, and we're going to try to siphon out some of the information. Now, I went a little deeper than what I'm supposed to, and I'm not going to lie to you. We are going to get into some very interesting conversation in a bit. I'm going to give you about 20 minutes here. If it hits into 30, I'm sorry, but we're going to try to go 20. And I normally don't like to go too far with certain things because I have had a past of going too far. This is why I don't do many, this is why I stay away from, hunting ghosts and stuff like that. Not that I haven't done it. I have done it. But I'm the guy who asks too many questions, and in the end, I get the answers that I really don't want. So I kind of have to be cool with stuff like that. So, with that being said, it is what it is. We all have to do our own way and figure out which is going to be the best avenue for us. We're going to do a layout on what Dreaming the Dead has to do with your subconscious, I guess you want to call it. Tells you more or less why you have certain dreams. But then I'm going to go just a step further, because I wanted to know, what about if I dream about somebody? When I say dreaming the dead, also, let me clarify this. I'm talking about dreaming people that, like your loved ones that have passed. But how about some friends that you've dreamed, or maybe you may or may not have dreamed friends from way in the past. We're talking about years ago. We're talking about 20, 30 years ago. And all of a sudden they're popping up in your dreams. Well, the reason I'm doing this is because lately I have had these dreams. And it's been in the last few months. I've had friends of mine that have passed that I haven't seen these guys in years. And I have a brother who passed, and I know he's been popping up. Now, I understand some of the topics say about issues and stuff y'all may have. And me and my brother, we've had a lot of issues. So, not going too deep into that. But so they're right on that. But some of my other friends, I'm not really sure. Or some of the friends, I'm sorry. I'm not really sure. Okay, moms and dads, I understand that. We dream our parents, and that has to be part of the grieving, and I'm guessing it is. But sometimes my deal was, I wanted to know, why is it reoccurring lately and it wasn't, in the past? So I could be in a room and all of a sudden they're all popping in for some reason. But the step further that I decided to go was, what if it's a scary dream or a nightmare or something? What does that mean? I think I found out, or at least I got some information that some people might have interpreted, or they think they interpret. So, I don't know. What I'm seeing, dreams about deceased family and friends can be a complex and emotional, charged experience. There are several psychological, emotional, and neurological theories that attempt to explain why these dreams occur. And I mentioned the grief processing, and that's the ones I was talking about, the parents and whatnot, maybe your brother or whatnot, and then, well, that would be the parents. And then there's also unsolved emotions. Sometimes there's an unsolved emotion, apparently, to some of these people that, or some of these scientists or psychologists, that they feel that it has a lot to do with, it's a reflection of an unresolved emotion that you're holding on to. And that's why you're dreaming them, because you haven't let them go. But I don't know. Others are just memories and reminiscing. I had a son who passed also, and I don't want to get too deep into that. He had cerebral palsy. He was born that way. And doctors always tell you, different factors on that. If those of you who are a parent of a child with cerebral palsy or special needs, and they tell you that, or they told me, okay, and I know that I've spoke with other parents, and they said that they were told about the same thing, that if your child makes it to the age of 18, you'll be very lucky. And it's a horrible thing to hear, but you keep fighting, and you keep working on him, and you keep staying with him, and you keep doing what you have to do. So my son was more or less, I had to bathe him, change him, feed him. He was like a baby. And he made it he had made it in his early 30s. And just one day he decided not to wake up. Now, memories are reminiscing. I have not had many dreams about him. And I'm kind of thinking that, well, that's kind of, is that part of the do I not have to grieve anymore, or am I not grieving? I don't know. But I just want to mention, he is not one of the ones that's occurring in my dreams. Have I dreamed of him in the past? Yes, I have. So, but I don't think that's part of, he's part of the situation. I think I'm trying to find out why these other people are popping into my dreams, and that's the purpose of this podcast tonight. Now, I'm going to do something that I don't think that I should do, and that's where I'm getting to, where I'm always doing something crazy. And I'm going to do this at the end of this podcast. And as soon as I get through all this, I'm going to do this. Now, this is more or less on the side of the macabre, or like some of y'all like to say, macabre is the way it's spelled. I'm going to name some of the ones who have come into my dreams. And now, I have been told that this could be either good or bad. So, and depending on the reason for dreaming certain ones, then it could be I could draw a dangerous energy. I'm only going to name 5. And I'm only going to name 5 because I'm only going to name the names. And only one's a family member. And there's a couple of them from the military that we lost. But I'm just curious why I'm dreaming them. So I personally believe that maybe if I just name them out loud, maybe I'll get a dream of closure or something, because it does say here, you're going back. Now that's going to be at the end. That'll be pretty much close to the last thing I'm going to do. So stay tuned for that. Don't go nowhere. And like I said, this is going to be like 20, hopefully maybe 30 minutes at the most. I'm going to really try not to drag it out that long. So we'll try to give it to that. But going back on the stuff that I'm talking about, it was grieving process, unresolved emotions, memories, and reminiscing. And there's another one, subconscious desire for closure. Now, I don't know where that pertains to some of these guys. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But how would it pertain in your world? Have you dreamed anybody, any of past friends or loved ones, or anybody like that have passed on? Well, now here's another one. Psychological process, and dreaming is believed to be a mechanism by which the brain processes and organizes information and emotions. Dreaming about the deceased might be a way for the mind to integrate the loss into one's personal narrative. I'm not sure that mine fall into any of those. Maybe yours do. I don't know. And then there's others, neurological factors. Sorry. I have a speech condition due to a cancer, a fight that I had. And then there's a coping mechanism, and there's several others, and whether they relate to us or relate to your situation or mine, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. And so, I mean, everybody can interpret a dream, I guess, their own way. I mean, you can look to a psychologist or whatever and try to see if you can get some kind of help, or so somebody can give you a little more insight on why you're dreaming these things. I don't know, but what are the reasons we have these dreams? Why do we have dreams, period? And there's so many different things. Some cultures and spiritual. I don't know. It makes me kind of wonder what the purpose of some of these dreams are. So now I decided to go another step further, and again, like I say, I'm always doing something, and I have a bad habit, or something touched me. I don't know if I'm kidding or not. We're gonna find out when I mention these names, and I hope nothing's gonna touch me or reach out. I'm not trying to reach out for anything to grab me or beat me up or nothing like that. I don't think it's going there. I don't have anybody that really, I don't think it should go on there. But anyway, I wanted to know, what about scary dreams with people that or just scary dreams in general? And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, you said, is a scary dream a nightmare? I don't know. It makes me wonder. What's the difference between a nightmare and a scary dream? Is there a difference? Are they the same thing? I really don't know. So I looked up and did a little research on that. So here we go. I'm going to give you what I found on that. Okay, now understand, please, that most of the stuff that I did on the Google thing, and a search kind of a deal. So these are nothing that I'm making up. I didn't make up anything. I want you to know that you can probably Google the same thing, and I'm sure you'll find the same thing, the same answer that I found. My first one is, what is the difference between a scary dream and a nightmare? Okay, this is coming from Harvard Medical School. This was the source, and it was topic nightmares and the brain. Okay, dreams are understood to be recent biographical episodes that become woven with past memories to create a new memory that can be referenced later. I'm sorry. But nightmares are simply dreams that cause a strong but unpleasant emotional response. I don't know. Your thoughts? I think that's something maybe you might want to go to my Facebook, or let me know what you think on that. But there's another one. And this one here, that's why, I say I don't like going too deep on certain things, because I find out too many things, and I'm like, I go too deep, and I'm like asking too much, or I don't know, maybe asking for too much. But we're going to go further. I went a little step further. What's the difference? Well, no, not what the difference is, because I had an idea what that was, but I want to know what does it mean if you have a horror dream? You know, there's a horror dream and there's a nightmare. I'm sure some of you may have had a nightmare and had a horror dream. Some people I remember growing up, and it'd be said that nightmares, you know, you wake up from bad dreams, and a nightmare, you wake up in a cold sweat. I think that the horror dream would maybe fall into that. But look at the reason for the horror dream. This is what they're saying here. Now, this was another source, but it didn't give me the source. Because it may have just fell in line with this from the Harvard Medical School. But let me read you what it says. What does it mean if you have a horror dream? All right. People now watch this. Pay attention to this, because this kind of locks into my deal from the military. So, and some other veterans that are out there. So pay attention to this one. What does it mean if you have a horror dream? People experience a lot of stress, or who have mental health conditions like anxiety disorders may experience dreams that are more frightening. Up to 71% of the people who suffer PTSD, I'm sorry, I read that wrong, may experience nightmares, which can be reoccurring if not treated. Disturbing dreams or nightmares about dead relatives may show themes of projection. If your relative expresses anger or other negative feelings toward you, that may symbolize your feelings about yourself. Isn't that weird? Feelings about yourself. Wow, so you might be mad at yourself, or I don't know. Are you mad at you? I'm not mad at me that I know of. We'll find out tonight after I mention these 5 names and see which way I'm going to start running. All right, this projection could be situational and based on the specific event, but it can also be more general. Dreams of the dead that are happy. Now here we go. We're going to flip the A side from the B to flip to the B side from the A side. Dreams of the dead that are happy. In these visitations, the person may be free from illness or injury, appear in the afterlife, or seem comfortable or peaceful. These dreams may be pleasant and reassuring because they see the deceased as they once were before experiencing illness. Now you see, that goes on my son. Now I have dreamed him, and when I have dreamed him, and I'm not saying I haven't really dreamed him recently, but I have in the past dreamed him, and whenever I saw him, he was normal. He was just back to, you know, the way before he became cerebral palsy, because he underwent open heart surgery at the year of 2.5, and he was running around like everything like normal. He was a normal boy, and he went into surgery, open heart surgery. Something happened. He came out, was in a coma for 30 days, and he woke up and didn't know anybody, didn't know anything, and he stayed that way. He stayed like a baby. But in the dreams that I've had of him, it's he was always normal. He was running around, jumping around like, nothing ever was wrong with him. And even though he was in his 30s, I didn't see him in his 30s in a dream. He was still a little boy, and it's kind of weird. But that's why I say some of these dreams, dreaming the dead, I don't know that I'm answering the questions that really need to be answered here as to why we dream some of these people. We have come through some of this. I mean, it is kind of showing us, I'm guessing that why we're dreaming some of these. So I don't know. Everybody, I guess everybody's going to have their own thoughts on that and whatnot. So I don't know. maybe it's something to do with. There's some things that say something to do with. Maybe if you share your personal experiences or stories from listeners about their memorable dreams and what they've learned from them. So, why don't what have you learned from some of these dreams? And have you had dreams like that? I'd like to know. This will be on YouTube. If you want to give me a comment, I would really love to know. Tell me what you interpret the dream is. Have you had these dreams from people from the past? And again, we understand. I think we are on the same page now that if it's a loved one like parents or sons or something, relatives, we kind of understand that that's kind of common, closure or whatnot. But what if it's not like the ones I'm having? I don't know why they're coming to me in my dreams. I don't know. I think a lot of people are probably going to ask, well, what are they saying? It depends on what they're telling you. It depends on what. Some of them ain't telling me nothing. They're just like every day, like I remember them from back then or something like that. So I don't know. You tell me what you think. And then, I don't know. I think the best thing to do is just, when people pass, I think it's best to make sure this is okay. Now I'm giving you mine. Okay, don't back to my deal. I think it's just best that we find the closure when they pass. Go to their, when they're buried at that time, and I'm talking about if and when they're, it comes to that point. Say what you have to say that day. I think that's probably the best thing to do. I think we should all be doing that. Maybe we're supposed to do that, and I'm sitting here in the dark. But, I'm the late one. Maybe that's why when I ask these questions, when I go ghost hunting, they come at me. They want to attack me or something. But maybe that's what we're supposed to do. So, I don't know. I think that's what maybe I didn't do that with some of these guys. I don't know. One of them who passed, I was out of town when he passed. I had to come back because they told me he did. And the passing of loved ones and friends and everything, it is painful. It does hurt. I mean, no one's gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like it doesn't hurt. I'm not the Iron Man, the emotional Iron Man that doesn't feel pain. We all feel pain. I mean, stuff like that, especially. I felt pain during my cancer fight, that's for sure. But we're talking about emotional. What is harder, physical or emotional? Emotional is always the toughest, because it lingers and it stays with you. So I'm just saying those are my reasons that I think. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to go to this other deal here. All right, here we go. I'm gonna name 5, and these are names of the people that I have passed. I'm not going to say. I will say this: these are just friends that from years ago. One of them, 2 of them were from the military, and that was really years ago. And there's not really any here that are recent. Now, not that I haven't had any recent. I'm just saying these are just the ones that have been coming to me, and I'm gonna just mention their names. No last names. I will mention their names. And then, on the next podcast, I think that I'll mention an update on it. I think it'll be a good deal. I'll put an update on this and let you know more or less what, if anything, happened. Like, I don't know, God forbid, if I have all kind of dreams tonight, everybody coming at me. So, like I said, sometimes I ask too much. But, I mean, whatever. We do what we got to do here. We do what we got to do here to slap. So, all right, here it goes. James, Steve, Larry, Tuna, Danny. Okay, that's the names of the people who have passed. And I don't know. We just have to see what happens on the next step. I mean, I'm hoping nothing's gonna happen. I mean, Well, thank you for tuning in and to our podcast here. Hope you appreciate explaining the strange, explain strange. And I don't know, sometimes you make you wonder some of the topics that come up that we're going to be bringing up. So I'll be there for you. Don't worry about that. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a review. Tell me what you thought. Tell me your stories if you have any stories. I really want to know. I'm really interested in doing this. I like to carry these things a little further. So feel free to, contact me or do whatever you want to do, any kind of way to contact me and let me know what you feel or what you have, what experience you've had, what you thought of what you thought of this podcast. I hope you're following the podcast. I hope you enjoy it, and we're going to have another one coming up. And the next one, I believe it's going to dig into a little more. I'm going to try to do the next one for a ghost hunt. Not me going out ghost hunting, but I'm going to try to get a ghost hunt team or a leader of a ghost hunt team to come out. Now, the very next episode, I do know this. I have been informed already that I have a guest that's going to come out. It's going to be two of them. They're based in Texas. They're out of San Antonio. I'm not going to mention their name now, but they're from a famous haunted location out there. And in fact, these guys go around San Antonio and they conduct tours. So one of them has been on Travel Channel. I think it was on Portals to Hell, if I remember right. And I'm thinking it was. And if not, I'm wrong. You'll know on the next one. But that's going to be the next shoot right there. And I'll announce them later on my Facebook, and you'll know who they are. And I know if you're from Texas, you know them. And some of you from out of state know them. I guarantee it. You know who these guys are. And I was honored for them to get back with me and tell me that they'd come on my show. So they'll be on Explain Strange. And also we're going to be doing some t-shirts for Explain Strange. That's the Slap Recon shirt back there. And that over there, if you guys recognize that, that's the Graveyard Shift. That's Dalen Spratt on his YouTube. I follow that pretty close, and a lot of us do. And it's called the Graveyard Shift. So you might want to get into that if you were a fan of the Ghost Brothers. Dalen Spratt has his thing going on the YouTube channel. Very interesting, a lot of fun to watch. He goes to all these graveyards and does all these ghost box sessions and all kind of weird stuff. So you might want to check into it. Marcus has joined him also, I think a couple of times. So I guess he gets periodically. He tries to get a guest in there. Be cool for me to come out in there, but I guess you gotta be somebody. I don't know. I ain't nobody. I don't think. I'm not. So, okay, thanks. That's going to be another episode. That's going to be the end of episode 1. Slap Recon's Explain Strange. And please follow. Please tell your friends. Please stay tuned for the next episode. And I guess that's going to do it for us. Thank you very much for watching. Good night, and boo you later.